whisper through the rain, I am with you. And as your mercy falls, I raise my hand and praise the God who gives and takes away. And I'll praise you in the storm, and I will lift my hands, for you are who you are, no matter where I am. And every tear I've cried, you hold in your hand. You never left my side, and though my heart is torn, I will praise you in this storm. And we rejoice in the hope of the glory of God. Not only so, but we also rejoice in our sufferings, because we know that suffering produces perseverance, perseverance, character, and character, hope. Romans 5, 2b through 4. Because we're talking about storms and the reconciliation of Christ in storms, I wanted to share with you guys a very special, but also very difficult anniversary for me. I was thinking about it earlier, and I realized the day we leave, Monday, is also the 2-year anniversary of the day that my ex-fiance proposed to me. And I'll spare you the gushy details, but it was sweet, and he was somebody that I really loved. He loved Jesus, and we loved each other, and it was great. And around that time, I felt like my entire life was coming together. It was like I had the ring by spring, except it was fall, which is a huge thing at OBU. They say like ring by spring, but it was ring by fall, so it was fine. And I was going into my sophomore year, and I was like, everything's gonna be perfect. I'm gonna spend half of my college days married. Keynote, I'm 21. Do the math. Yeah, we didn't get married. And it was just gonna be great, but a couple of months later, September rolled around, and God was speaking in his heart, but I wasn't really letting God speak to mine. And God very blatantly told him that he was not living for him. And so one night after my sorority meeting, I had to have a very difficult conversation with him. And I was angry, and I threw the ring at him because I was that angry. But in that, because I am also diagnosed with clinical depression, my entire life fell apart. I have been putting my foundation as Jeff, my ex-fiance. I base my walk with Christ on him. I based everything around him. My entire life had been planned around him. And then suddenly that was gone. So I became a hermit for about a month. My friends worried about me. I stopped going to class. I started failing classes. And at the end of the semester, out of 4 classes, I passed 1 with a C. And so just that fact that I lost everything in a matter of months, and that was the lowest point of my life. I honestly can't remember how many times I thought that I should just end it. Nobody loves me, I'm just done. Sorry, I'm feeling a little under with the weather right now. But that was my huge, I call it the hurricane in my life, just because you have to start completely over from that point. And I'm not going to say that I did everything right. A few months later, I was in a very bad and not really God-honoring relationship, and my relationship with my family got worse, and I was just this cranky, horrible person trying to find something to fill the pain. And nothing did, until I started going back to church and started really realizing who God was in my life, that he is the first, and that he's the great comforter. And just the fact that the comforter lives within us. A couple of weeks ago, I celebrated my 5th anniversary, or rebirthday, or whatever you want to call it, of accepting Christ into my life. And for this, about a year's time, I just completely forgotten that I have the peace of God living inside me. So just the fact that, like, I was not rejoicing in that storm, but I kind of learned how to, and kind of God started putting those pieces back together in my life. And a lot of it was really rocky. Someone at my school that I look up to and love dearly, she always tells everybody, just take the next right step. And I've been really working to live by that, because honestly, that's what got me here in front of you guys today. And just seeing how God has worked through that. And I had been constantly in a relationship, trying to fill those holes in my life with relationships since I was 10, basically. But now I've been single for 10 months, and that is the longest I've ever been such. And just knowing that God has brought me back, no matter how many times I've been unfaithful, has just been an amazing thing. And so I really just wanted to share that with you guys. A story that's close to my heart is the story of Hosea and Gomer. Hosea was a prophet that God told to marry a prostitute. And this prostitute, Gomer, she constantly left him, went back to her ways, and every time God told her, go back, buy her back, and bring her home and love her. And he did. And this was supposed to be a picture of how Israel constantly drifted away from God, and he still welcomed them back and still wanted them back. I think all of us are Gomers, whether it's relationships or drugs or drinking or something you're putting in front of God, like grades, or activities, whatever it may be. We all run away, but God always brings us back with open arms.